Hello, my name is Daniel Sullivan, and I'm going to go through a quick run-through of my game, The Tide. Go ahead and turn this to face the camera so you can see. As you can see, the game has an entrance and an exit. The overall purpose of the game is to enter the lost city of Atlantis and exit before the encroaching tide kills you. I'm going to go through a little bit of the gameplay, and I can explain some of the rules as we're going along. To determine who goes first, your players will roll a d6, and whoever has the highest score will be the first one to start their movement phase. Before you begin, you have something here called a character sheet. This one is blank. As you can see, everyone starts level 1 with 4 strength, 4 speed, 4 agility, 4 toughness, 4 intelligence, and 4 wisdom. No gold, no artifacts, nothing equipped, and of course 0 experience because you haven't done anything yet. You will be... Okay, as you can see, this has got... you can record all the stuff that has to do with your character as you progress through the game. Alright. First step, create a character name. We'll call my character Joe. His current level is 0. His current experience is 0. He has nothing in his hands because he's just started playing the game. Now, because it's just me showing you, I'm going to have 3 identical characters, because you can, of course, when you play the game, have your own character and have your own name, and then you have individual stats that'll be increased or not increased or whatnot, which are explained in the rules, and I'll show you later. But anyway, let me just go ahead and start playing. All right. I am going first, and I am going to be this little black button character here, the player Joe. Now, how fast you move and how many spaces you move is determined by a 1d6 roll plus your character's speed. Currently, my character speed, as he is level 0, is 4. So I roll a d6. 3 plus 4 is 7. So I may move in any direction, forward, backward, diagonal, sideways, that I would like. 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a basic turn. My turn at this point, because there's nothing else going on, would be over. But for the sake of argument, let's say the other 2 characters go, they roll a few, they move, he moves up here to here, and it's my turn again. I roll a dice. 3. I guess I'm rolling 3 a lot, so I move again. But this time, I want to see what this red dot here is. The red dot is in the game called a blip. A blip can either be a encounter or an artifact, which is determined once you land on said blip by a d6 roll. 1 through 3, it's an encounter. 4 through 6, it's an artifact. Well, let's say I moved, and boom, I hit a blip. Now let's see what it will be. 6, it's an artifact. Lucky day. Let's see what I got. Nothing. You find nothing at all and gain nothing. Well, that's wonderful. Now we just put it here. Thank you. What the hell are you doing? I read it. Let's put it here on the discard for the artifacts. Roll again. Ooh, if it was my turn again. I can move again 7. 1, 2, 3. I've moved 3 of my 7, but I hit another blip. So let me see. Let me do another roll. This time it's an encounter. I encounter Atlanteans. This is a creature. As you can see, I'll read it off for you. The Atlanteans have hit points of 10. Attack dice is 1d6. And it says, Atlanteans are easily defeated individually, but they always travel in packs. Roll another d6 to determine how many of them there are. Let's see. Oh man. There are going to be 6 of them. So I would come over here and I'd grab 6 tokens and I'd place them surrounding my character. in as close proximity as I can. Six. Oh dear, I am surrounded by Atlanteans. Good thing is, Atlanteans are fairly easy to defeat. So I would go on to my battle phase, because I am encountering an enemy. And enemy encounters act as an interrupt, so I cannot complete, even though I have more leftover movement points, I can't run away yet. I have to fight them. Alright, so the battle phase, you take 2d6s for each one of these characters I'm going to attack. Let's start with this guy right here. 2d6. This one will represent myself, my character, and this one will represent the Atlantean that I'm trying to defeat. What you do, you roll the d6. I have a 2, and he has a 4. Alright, what you do, the Atlantean has a 4. You add 4 to his speed and agility. So his speed is 3, agility 3, so 6, 10. He has a score of 10. You take my 2 and you add it to my toughness and agility. So I have 4, 8, also 10. That's a tie. On a tie, nobody hits. But let's just assume that I hit. Let's say I rolled a 3. So I would hit. Now, I would take my attack dice. As I'm a level 0, I only have 1. And that would determine how much damage I would do to the Atlantean. I do 5 damage to the Atlantean. Boom. This Atlantean is down to 5 hit points. You know, fast forward. Hit pause. Through the magic of cinematography, I have managed, with the help of my friends, to defeat all the Atlanteans. But not without taking damage. I started with 50 hit points. I took 20 damage from those Atlanteans after everything was said and done. So now I'm down to 30 hit points. Whew! That was a tough encounter. Probably want to avoid those while you're such a low level. But anyway, that was the end of, we'll just say that 4 turns have come and gone. It took us quite a while to defeat all those Atlanteans because we didn't want to move on until we had. Turn 4 has hit. That's where the tide starts to rise. At the 4th turn, you can bring out your tide marker. You can remove these if you like. Boom. Sorry I have to use a ruler, but that's the best I got right now. The tide is rising. Magical. Pause. Ooh, magic of cinematography. A turn has passed. My buddies have decided to go a different route than me. They're going a more risky route, I would say, because the tide has encroached yet another level. It's gone up to level 5 because we finished another turn. And they're going to go down this way, which will trap them, possibly, in the tide if they don't get enough movement. That's part of the risk of the game. If you are caught in the tide, your character loses all gold and all equipped items. If you have a nice game manager. If the person who's running the game decides he wants to be evil, your character can be dead. Also, when you're fighting an enemy, your character can either die or they can not die and just have all their gold and items lost. Moving on. Alright, here's my character. I'm going to go roll a little bit more, do a little bit more gameplay. D6, 6 plus my speed of 4. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, why not? Let me roll another one and see what I get. 3. Ooh, artifact. I have a magic bow. Okay, the magic bow, it sells for 200 gold. I can buy it at the store for 400 gold, which is something a little bit more advanced. I'll get into in the rules later. It has a range of 10, which means it can actually shoot 10 spaces. So if I am being pursued by an enemy, I can actually run away and still engage them. And let's see, when I equip it, it adds 2 to my agility, which is wonderful if I am attacking. So I can just go ahead and put this here into my equipment, and I'll say it's going into my left hand. So I can just write down magic bow. Magic bow. Just keep that here. All right. Moving on. The other guys, of course, will have their turn. They'll go and do whatever they gotta do. All right. Pause. All right, through the magic of television, of course, I'm going to go ahead and hit another encounter. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's a Poseidon Guard. That's actually one of these larger characters. He'll come out in, of course, the space adjacent to my character. Now, the Poseidon Guard, he's a tough cookie. He's got a hit points of 40. He has 2d6 attack dice, and strength of 5, speed of 5, agility of 4, toughness of 4, intelligence of 1, wisdom of 1. The quote I have is, "I thought they were extinct," which, of course, in Atlantis there are dinosaurs, because those were the only characters I could find at Walmart. But anyway, in the production game, of course, I would try to have something more Atlantis themed, but I just don't have the skill to mold such said item. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead, and if we do an attack on this guy, we can go through another round of attacks. This dice will represent me. And this dice will represent the Poseidon Guard. Okay, so I got a 3, he got a 2. So when he is hitting, let's see, you take his speed and agility 5 plus 4, 2. So he has 9 and 11, and I have 3 plus 8 is also 11. Wow, a lot of evens going on, which means none of us hit. That's wonderful, because I magically only used 5 of my 9 runaway movement points. So, because no one hit, now I can actually use up the rest of my movement points, and I'm going to run away because I don't think... 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I can take that Poseidon Guard. My other teammates are still moving around. They've moved. Of course, let's just make believe that they rolled some and did stuff. Anyway, we're not really paying attention to what they're doing because they went a different round. Well, look, magic of television. Boop. Oh, the tide is ever encroaching. All right, now it was the end of my turn. However, Poseidon Guards, now how I have it engineered in this game is that they will always take the shortest route, of course not triggering encounters or anything, to the nearest player. And their movement is the same as ours. So, that Poseidon Guard, he can move 10, which means he can well reach my character again. And, of course, he's going to attack me again, as he is wont to do. And we go through another magic of television. Through some lucky dice rolls, although in reality, because I'm a level 0, I should just be, we should stay as a group if you're such low levels. To go off on your own is very, very, very dumb in the very beginning of this game. Through the magic of television, though, I kill the Poseidon Guard. This is where I get to talk about something pretty interesting. Whenever you kill an enemy, or you make it through an encounter, you gain experience. Now, your experience is determined by however many attack dice the character you defeated has times 10. So, if he has 2d6 attack dice, that means that he has 20, gives you 20 experience points. So because I killed him, I will have gained 20 experience points, which I will record here. Ooh, write my 20 down. And of course you add them up as you go throughout the game. Now when you level, it's interesting. You get to choose 3 attributes from your list and add +1 to them. So you have basically, whenever you level, you get 3 points to put into any one of the attributes you'd like. Strength, speed, agility, toughness, intelligence, wisdom, which all have roles later on in more advanced versions of the game. But I'm not going to get into this brief overview here. But, if let's say magically I leveled, I got 200 experience points, so I'm now level 2, I want to put all of my points into speed. So now I have 7 speed points. I'm going to make sure I record that down on my leveling sheet. Okay, magic of television. Somehow, I have survived, and I have made it to the end. As you can see, the game is meant to make sure that you can't just go throughout it without at least one encounter. which is something you don't want to do because you don't gain any experience if you don't, face any encounters. Well, now it's the end of this round of the game, and that pretty much covers that. Now I'm going to cover the store real quick. Now the store is at the beginning of the next turn. You get to pick randomly 3 items, 1, 2, 3, that will be available for purchase by you in the store. And as you can see, the store has here, you may purchase things from the store at the beginning of your turn, and you may sell things to the store. So if you have been, banking items, stacking them up in your inventory, you can sell them to the store to get gold, which will allow you to buy different items if you so choose, or it can act as a condition for winning the game as well. Well, that's been a pretty good overview of the Tide. I hope you enjoyed your time. Again, I'm Daniel Sullivan. Thank you very much.